The 3-4 over trio sky zone is one of those defenses that I've seen a lot of different setups over the years. And this particular blitz setup I'm about to show is very similar to the other two setups I've shown this week in the X and O's film room as far as from the sting pinch and the sting pinch zone. And the reason for that is because we're going to go ahead and crash the defensive line to the left, and then we're also going to go ahead and put the right outside linebacker in QB contain. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this setup. And before we do that, let's take a look at the default pass coverages and pass rush assignments. And as you look at this one, you can see that it's a 3-deep defense, so you end up having these 3 defenders playing 3-deep coverage. So you're going to have this right cornerback. He's going to play this deep 1/3 over there. And then you're also going to have the free safety. He's going to go ahead and play the deep middle. And then finally, the left cornerback is going to play this deep 1/3 over here. So you have those 3 defenders playing 3-deep coverage. And then you're going to have 3 defenders that are going to be dropping back in coverage underneath. In this case, we're going to have this right outside linebacker. He's going to go ahead and play the curl to the flat towards the left as you look at your screen. And then you're going to have the right inside linebacker drop back in a hook zone. And then you're going to have the strong safety. He's going to go ahead and come up in this area here and play a hook zone up in this area here. So you have those 3 defenders playing underneath zone coverage. And then that leaves us with 5 defenders that are going to rush the quarterback, and these are the 5 defenders as you look at your screen there. Now, the one that we're looking to get pressure from happens to be this guy right here, which is going to be the left inside linebacker. Now, what we're looking for him to do is to go ahead and shoot through this B gap area and apply the pressure between the right guard and right tackle and go after the quarterback, and that's what we're going to try to achieve. Now, if you run this defense as is and don't do any adjustments, he's going to get picked up. I can tell you that right now. More than likely, he's going to end up being picked up by probably either the right guard or the right tackle as far as with this particular defense. So one of those guys are going to pick him up. I guarantee you somebody's going to pick him up. Now, to go ahead and get the pressure, so what we're going to go ahead and show you is what we like to do, and that's to go ahead and crash the defensive line to the left, and you can see on your screen what we did there. And the reason for this is you don't have to make this adjustment if you don't want to, but the reason for this, and it's the same as the other 2 blitzes that we've shown this week, we're trying to create some spacing so that allowed the left inside linebacker to have even more room, because what should happen here, at least what we're wanting to happen, is for this guy right here, and this is going to be this right guard, we want him to slide in a little bit into this area here, and then it should create a nice gap between him and the right tackle where we're going to apply that pressure. We'll talk about that more here in this breakdown as we go through it. So let's go ahead and continue on here with the setup. And you can see right there, we're going to go ahead and hot route the right outside linebacker into QB contain as well. And just like the other 2 blitzes that we've shown, we're trying to go ahead and get this left tackle to come out here and to go ahead and look to block him, because that's going to change the way the whole offensive line blocks if we do this. And then simply what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop the the right outside linebacker back into pass coverages. Now let's go ahead and continue on with this setup here and kind of show you what it looks like once we make those 2 adjustments. And you can see on your screen that the only thing we really did here is crash the defensive line to the left, and then we hot routed the right outside linebacker into QB contain. And that's what the setup looks like at this point. Now, we're going to go ahead and take control of the right outside linebacker, and then once the ball snapped, then what we're looking for is while we're in control of him, so we're going to go ahead and take control of him here. And then what we're going to do is once the ball snapped, we want to go ahead and allow him to go out to the outside. As I've already pointed out, this guy right here, which is going to be this guy, which is the left guard, or excuse me, the left tackle, is going to go out there and look to block him. And once he does, then what we're going to do is we're going to drop this guy back, and this is going to allow us to go ahead and get this pressure that's going to come from the left inside linebacker. We'll end up shooting through this B gap and applying the pressure on the quarterback. So that's what you're going to end up seeing on here as you watch this. So here's the left inside linebacker. He goes into this area here and he puts the pressure on the quarterback. And that's the whole idea of this as far as the setup. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to go ahead and concentrate on this defender here, which is the right outside linebacker, and then also the left inside linebacker, because those are the 2 defenders that really make this blitz work for the most part. And then you can kind of watch the coverages and all that. So let's go ahead and just actually run it. And I think that once you guys actually see this, that you'll actually think it's a pretty nice little blitz, and hopefully it'll be something that you can add to your blitzes as far as out of the 3-4 over. So let's go ahead and run it, and we'll just take a look at it. And you can see right there, there's the pressure coming up the gut as far as from the left inside linebacker. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And one of the things that I want to do with this one, let's go ahead and just rewind it just a little bit here. I want to kind of talk a little bit about it, is as you run this one, you're going to see that what we're trying to do is go ahead and go back in here right there. Actually, a little bit further in here, right there. You can see right over here as you look that this guy initially is looking to go ahead and block over in this area here, and then he's going to go back inside. Now that's going to be the left tackle. Now he's going to end up going back in here eventually and looking to block over here, but it doesn't matter because he's already at least initially he went out here to block this guy initially, and that's the right outside linebacker. So he's looking to block him at least initially, and because of that, it changes up the way this whole offensive line blocks. Otherwise, if we didn't do this and we just dropped him back in coverage, which would end up happening is this guy right here would be the left tackle, would block that guy right there, which is going to be the right end. Then you'd have something like this. This guy would block into here, which is the left guard would block the nose tackle. Then you would have this guy blocking this guy right here. And it would just go all the way across, and you end up not having the blitz that you want as far as getting the pressure. And that's the reason that we want to go ahead and pretend like we're going to rush the right outside linebacker to get this whole offensive line blocking to change. And as long as we do that, then we're going to get that pressure coming off from the left inside linebacker. And as you look here at the coverages, the only downside of this particular defense, really, to be honest with you, would be out here in the flat, where if your opponent wanted to, he could go ahead and throw the ball out here and maybe complete it for a nice gain out here in the flat towards that halfback. But other than that, when you really think about it, by us dropping this guy back over here, the one that we're in control of, which is going to be this right outside linebacker, we actually have the flat covered as well. So if he was trying to throw this fullback, he's not going to do a whole lot against us there. So the coverages are pretty decent, and the pressure, because this is on the Xbox One PS4, seems to come quicker than it would if you're playing on the Xbox 360 or the PS3. If you're playing on those two consoles, one of those two consoles, this setup will still work. It just may not get as quick pressure as this particular setup shows here. So just keep that in mind. So this one here is called 3-4 over trio sky zone, looking to get pressure from the left inside linebacker.